You're watching the News Hour at 9.
But we'll start the news hour tonight with some breaking information that's coming in from the Home Ministry. It was a meeting that was chaired by the Home Secretary, attended by top secretaries of the government, including the CEO of the Niti Aayog, Amitabh Kant. And in this meeting, there were many people from the corporate world also in there. And the latest information is that in this meeting, which lasted for over 2.5 hours, no decision as yet. Some discussion has taken place. Various sectors and what they want has been recorded. But right now, the epidemiologists will study this demand and then give their okay in 2 or 3 days as to which areas can look at uplifting the national lockdown. Nikunj Garg, our internal security editor, joins me on the News Hour tonight. Nikunj, what are the inner details of this meeting which lasted over 2.5 hours?
Well, Navika, two big pieces of exclusive news. No other channel, no other media platform is covering it. None of them have it. One, that for the first time in the top echelons of the government of India, a graded exit plan from the national lockdown has indeed been discussed. But as you rightly said, the next 72 hours are extremely critical, and that was brought to the fore in this meeting also by the representatives of the National Disaster Management Authority. Their member secretary was present, and the DG of ICMR, and both said that in the next 72 hours, epidemiologists would be in a position to give a report on how the virus is going to behave in the near term, which means what are the weather conditions impact on the virus and what are the other socio-economic factors playing with the mutating behavior of the virus at this point of time. So next 72 hours, extremely crucial in the entire decision-making process. Remember, this exercise is in preparation of making a blueprint for the Prime Minister's office. This will have to cross the road, go to South Block for the Prime Minister's office to study it around 10th and 11th, and final call around 12th April would be taken. But nonetheless, two crucial pieces of big breaking news on News Hour at this moment. First time, a discussion on a graded exit plan, and second, top doctors, top virologists will give their report in next 72 hours on the various mutating behavior of the virus, and then a final call will be taken.
Thank you very much, Nikunj, for that update. So all of you who were looking for news on the lifting of the national lockdown on 14th, well, the first steps have been taken, a discussion taking place, but the blueprint from epidemiologists will be received in the next 72 hours, only after which a final study will be done by the Prime Minister and the Cabinet to arrive at a final conclusion. Thank you very much, Nikunj. Going on to the top story of the day, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Tabligh saga, which is only unraveling at this point in time. When facts are being put out tonight, when questions are being asked, a Jamaat has now been unleashed against the messengers, which is the media. In fact, the media is being accused for creating Islamophobia in this country and for making this a community-based virus attack. But ladies and gentlemen, sensational details have now emerged on how this Jamaat not only shunned advice from well-wishers, which absolutely clearly said that this was not the time to hold the congregation, but they also put their defenders in charge of targeting the media itself. First, listen in to a prominent personality from the Indian Muslim community, Zafar Sareshwala, who had appealed to Saad, Maulana Saad, the head of the Tabligh, and asked him not to hold the markaz at a time when the virus scare was at a high. Listen in.
It was sort of a friendly advice, and this was around 1.5 months back when it had just started, between 1.5 to 1 month back, when schools were closed and something like a lockdown situation can happen. But this advice did not cut ice with Maulana Saad, and unfortunately by the time they could realize and understand the gravity of the situation. It was too late. I would say that it was a big, monumental, error of judgment.
And ladies and gentlemen, after rejecting this sane advice, the fact is that those who were unleashed by the Jamaat to target media houses and anchors using unparliamentary language to hound those who chose to expose the facts, something that's our duty to do. When 34% of India is infected by the Tablighi Jamaat congregation and people who attended it, should we not have put out those facts before the country? But listening to these voices from the Jamaat who are targeting the media instead, shooting the messenger. Listen in.
इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया पिछले 3 दिन से जो मुसलमानों के खिलाफ जहर उगल रहा है, ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ हमारे इंतशार का नतीजा है। इस बात को आप ज़हन में बिठा लें। ये इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया चंद बिके हुए मौलवियों को बिठाकर जो समझने आया मुसलमानों के खिलाफ बकवास कर रहा है, और मुझे शर्म उन लोगों पर आ रही है जिनको जवाब देना नहीं आता, लेकिन टीवी के शौक पर, चैनल के शौक पर जाकर वो मीडिया में बैठ जाते हैं। मैं सारे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया को ये बात कहना चाहता हूं कि अगर तुम्हारे में हिम्मत है, अगर तुम्हारे में दम है, तो कोई मजबूत मुसलमान रहनुमाओं को बुलाओ, बिठाओ, फिर उसके बाद जब तुम्हें जवाब दिया जाएगा तो तुम्हारी एंकरिंग भी निकलेगी, तुम्हारे मीडिया में तुम्हारी इज्जत की धज्जियां भी उड़ेगी। तुम्हें उस दिन अंदाजा होगा। मुसलमानों पर अगर ट्रायल करेंगे, याद रखो तुम्हारे नुमाइंदों को माइक लेकर फिरना मुश्किल हो जाएगा।
ये मीडिया के सुधीर चौधरी जैसा, अमीर देवगन जैसा भोगते, तो अब सुप्रीम कोर्ट से उम्मीद थी ये और इनके आखा जो बीजेपी में बैठे हुए उन पे पाबंदी लगाएंगे। सुप्रीम कोर्ट पाबंदी नहीं लगा रहा, पुलिस एफआईआर नहीं कर रही, देश के हालात बद से बदतर हो जा रही। आश्रम के अंदर फॉरेन टूरिस्ट आए हुए हैं बाहर से, कई जने उसमें पॉजिटिव है कोरोना वायरस, इसकी तहकीकात नहीं हो रही। दिल्ली में फॉरेन टूरिस्ट फिर रही, इसकी तहकीकात नहीं हो रही। मंदिरों में कई है, हजारों लोग छुपे हुए, कई पॉजिटिव है कोरोना वायरस से, उसकी तहकीकात नहीं हो रही। लेकिन मरकज में चंद लोग थे, तहकीकात हो रही। तो ये डबल स्टैंडर्ड।
And the lobby that always fights for a free press in this country, for free speech in this country today, has no voice to condemn these Jamaatis. That's the question. And the legitimate question really is, when media presents facts, can this lobby still call the media Islamophobic? That's the question and the debate. Jamaat hate videos, the hashtag and the debate on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me tonight on the show is Smita Prakash, editor ANI, Sudhanshu Trivedi, member of Parliament and BJP spokesperson. I also have with me Suman C. Raman, a person who stands up for liberal rights in this country and is a political analyst. We also have Atikur Rahman, a Muslim scholar, MC Abbas, political analyst. But tonight on the standpoint, it is going to be Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author and scientist, who is going to take on Ilyas Sharafuddin, who calls himself a scholar but actually uses filthy language for the media. And Ilyas Sharafuddin, I want to ask you tonight, I want to ask you, how dare you call the media names? The media has only exposed the facts of the case. You cannot excuse yourself on the basis of Islamic organizations and not be counted in the population that is adding to the number of infected people in this country infected by coronavirus. How dare you call this Islamophobia, and how dare you call names to the media which are completely unpardonable, Ilyas Sharafuddin?
I would like to just answer this in 3 points. The first point is, on 27th January, 2020, we gave the warning against this particular virus first time. And 30th January, Times of India reported it widely. But Modi government or Amit Shah, Modi himself or Amit Shah, Yogi or Donald Trump, no one has listened to us. Modi started enjoying with Donald Trump. Yogi went to Ayodhya enjoying Ram Navami. And Amit Shah was enjoying pursuing MLAs and destroying 100% government. And Donald Trump is no one listened to us. Second point, we requested that no communication should be there and lockdown of cities and international lockdown should be there. But it was not being done. Thousands of people came to Ashram and today we came to know that from Hare Krishna ISKCON Ashram of UK, 5 people died of this COVID-19 coronavirus and thousands have been quarantined and hundreds have been detected as positive. In Sadhguru Ashram, Ravi Shankar Ashram, and Hare Krishna ISKCON Ashram, thousands of people are there, but no testing is going on. The third point that we always try that India should be safe, world should be safe. But for that, justice should prevail. Media reporting on the one side of the matter, ignoring all the irresponsible attitude of Modi and Mr. Yogi. 2 lakh laborers came on board. 1/3 of them are positive as per the government itself in Supreme Court statement. Meaning, thousands of Biharis and UP...
Time is up for your rants, Ilyas Sharafuddin. Let me get in Anand Ranganathan. Anand Ranganathan, is any of these arguments put forth by Ilyas Sharafuddin making any sense to you? If the media did not report on the Tablighis, do you think the action would have followed in the manner that it did? And do you think state governments have been warned about the way this Tabligh Jamaat actually ran away to 18 states, spreading virus in every single state? See the situation in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and so many other states. Anand Ranganathan.
Yeah, good evening, Navika. I don't know which book Mr. Sharafuddin reads that makes him hate the Kafir so much. You know, these threats to the media from Tabligh leaders and sympathizers are condemnable. The language is so shocking, probably bordering on incitement. Playing the victim and at the same time giving out dog whistles. One shudders to think of it, Navika, but a Kamlesh Tiwari-like episode might be on the horizon. Here are the irrefutable facts. 1. 35% of all Indian cases are now linked to the Tabligh gathering. 320 cases are from Delhi alone. 2. 2,000 Tablighs gathered in that Nizamuddin Corona Island in complete violation of more than a dozen state and central orders. 3. All this under the control of their chief, who dismissed Corona as a conspiracy to divide Muslims. 4. Already across cities and towns we have witnessed the sight of doctors and health workers being stoned and nearly lynched by mobs sympathetic to Tabligh, of Asha workers running for their lives as loudspeaker from mosque blared spine-chilling orders, of police being spat at, of nurses being exposed to indecent behavior, and yet we find educated, moderate leaders of the community issuing threatening orders. They are the ones who made this out to be a communal and not a health issue. After all, the loudest condemnation of the Tabligh is coming not from Indian media, but from the media of Malaysia, an Islamic country where more than 20% of all COVID cases are linked to the Tabligh. So would you call the Malaysians Islamophobic now? Stop this insanity and admit yourself to due process of law, or admit that you don't believe that nation comes first.
Absolutely. Well said, Anand Ranganathan. If the nation came first, would these people have been defending their own Jamaat that has really added to the numbers in India, or would they be actually targeting the media? That's the question, Suman Siraman. Suman Siraman, you are somebody who believes in freedom of expression, freedom of speech and a free press. Do you think the press should be cowed down by the Tablighi Jamaat issuing such fatwas against us, by calling us names that are difficult to even repeat? What is the fault of the media? Is the media at fault when it reveals the true number of people in that congregation, which was 3,400, 2,000 and more of them coming from abroad, 1,750 of those whose visas have been blacklisted? I want to ask you, Suman Siraman, you hold up everybody's constitutional rights. Why not a single word of condemnation of such threats coming in from the Jamaat for the media tonight, from this entire lobby The Khan Market gang, as it has been called very, very aptly. I want to ask you that.
First of all, there are three different issues here. The Tabligh deserves total condemnation for having gone ahead with the event. They should be taken to task severely for not cooperating with the authorities. All of that is something that there is nothing to discuss or dispute about. The point here is no country officially is segregating their statistics on the basis of religion as far as coronavirus is concerned. Not even countries like Korea, where the 2/3 of the cases by end of February were part of the Shincheonjeon cult of the church. So I don't think that there are two issues that you're confusing here. What the Tabligh did was wrong. There is nothing to justify and say that holding the meeting was right. Not cooperating with the authorities is absolutely unacceptable. But every day to go on, and government agencies, Mr. Love Agarwal in his press meet says that doubling time in India would have been is 4.1 days, but case doubling would have been 7.4 but for Tabligh cases. I think that and this is a government official, mind you. He's not a political party man. He's a government official. I have been observing the corona statistics from all over the world. I have never seen it being divided on the basis of religion anywhere.
Defense for the Tabligh, defense for the community, and let me get in Sudhanshu Trivedi ji. Sudhanshu Trivedi ji कितना defend कर रहे हैं? अगर तबलीग को मुसलमानों से इक्वेट किसी ने किया है तो वो इस लॉबी ने किया है. हमने कभी कहा है कि ये मुसलमानों का फैलाया हुआ है? हमने तो तबलीग जमात का लिया है शुरू से नाम. When it is the other Muslim organizations, other Muslim leaders who come out and target the media, suddenly they are making it Islamic. We are not. Sudhanshu Trivedi?
First, I would like to respond. Mr. Sumant C. Raman has said that nowhere in the world he has found. Yes, of course. Nowhere in the world in the last few months you have found that 281 persons coming from abroad, sitting in a building, and the fact was hidden by that institution. Can you quote any example in the world? Forget about India. Second thing, nowhere in the world you will find that people openly saying that we will split. Nowhere in the world you will find that the person will be saying don't give attention to doctors.
Dr. Sumant Raman is blatantly wrong. Please allow me to correct him.
Can I speak?
All right.
Please allow me to
Anand
correct him.
Ranganathan wants to make a point and he is challenging the facts presented by Dr. Sumant C. Raman. Anand, go ahead.
Yes. Yes, I am astonished that twice Dr. Sumant Raman has said that no other country except India is demarcating the COVID victims on the basis of religion. India is not doing so. Does he mean to say that out of the 4,500 cases, 1,500 are Tabligh, how many are Hindus and how many are Muslim in those rest 3,000 cases? Please apologize. You are completely wrong.
Of course you are. When you mention
Can you tell me how many of those?
Do they belong? When you mention Tabligh,
where does the religion come in? Why don't you tell me how many of the 3,000 cases? How many of the 3,000? Please let me finish. Please let me finish. How many? You said India is distinguishing on the basis of religion. I challenge you to tell me. Stop interrupting. Nobody is segregating on the basis of religion. If they were, they would have known, and you would have known how many of the 3,000 cases are Hindus and Muslims and Sikhs and Christians. Don't lie on national television,
What
please.
are you talking about? What are you talking? Which religion do Tablighis belong?
I challenge you to tell me how many Muslims are there in the 3,000.
Which religion do Tablighis belong?
Are you telling me?
Please tell me.
This is so, I don't know, Navika. I don't know, this is abominable. Why don't you answer the question?
Why don't you answer my question?
Accept defeat. If you can't answer the question and you are exposed. I asked you a simple question.
You answer my question.
Stop beating about the bush. I asked you a simple question.
My question.
Why are you scared of answering the question? Stop looking at the ceiling. Look at the camera and answer me. How many of the 3,000?
Do they belong to different religions?
Navika, this is, is this how a doctor is supposed to behave?
Dr. Sumant C. Raman, it's a valid question. Out of the 4,500 cases, nearly 1500, 1800 cases are of the Tablighis, and only that has been pointed out. Of the remaining 2,500, do you know how many? Do you know how many Muslims, how many Hindus, how many Buddhists, how many Christians, how many Parsis?
Exactly.
Nobody is doing that.
But
Tabligh's congregation and pointing out that this is due to this congregation is not pointing out a religion. It is not pointing out a religion, and you don't have a word to say about the abusive language used by all those who have been unleashed on the media, who are firing at the messenger. But you are raising a defense for the fact that this is being made into a Hindu-Islamic debate in this country.
You are making it very simple, very simple thing. That meeting should have been stopped. It is a failure.
Why don't you answer the question? Do you think there are any Muslims in those 3,000 cases?
There may
without the Tabligh in there?
You Tablighis belong to 4 different religions.
Simple question to you.
Instead of
there may be. So you don't know, right? So you don't know.
What is the logic?
You have just been caught. Instead of apologizing and accepting, I'm afraid you are an anti-Stemite. You don't believe in science and logic. You are an anti-Stemite.
Suman Sri Raman, squarely this round belongs to Anand Ranganathan. After the rapid fire, it's very clear. He's asked you a pointed question. He's asked you not once, not twice, but 6 times. And you haven't given the answer as to whether 3,000 of these are actually Hindus or Muslims. Nobody knows except the fact that the 1,500 cases that we are talking about are Tabligh cases. Hence, point proved. QED, we are not doing this on the basis of religion. Let me now get in MC Abbas and let me get in Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi. MC Abbas, is there any way you can respond to the question raised by Anand Ranganathan? Why shoot the messenger? Why not one word of condemnation for the language used against the media? Should the media not have exposed the Tabligh Jamaat for violating rules, for completely putting a whole country and the whole society at risk of a dreaded coronavirus pandemic?
Ma'am, certainly, Navika ji, you asked me why shoot the messenger. What else to do with the messenger when the messenger is so one-sided, when the messenger is so partisan, when the messenger is so unfair? You don't speak about Madhya Pradesh Shivraj Chauhan Jamaat. You don't speak of the Namaste Trump Jamaat, Kanika Kapoor Jamaat, Gaumutra Party Urine Jamaat. You have no ills for that, but you want to target one community time and again. अरे कुछ तो शर्म करना चाहिए आज मीडिया को. I have done my bachelor's in journalism, master's in media, and today media has led to a catastrophe of sorts. It's absolutely unfortunate. I feel ashamed belonging to this field. And what about the other media? Media is supposed to be fair. Media is not supposed to be one-sided, targeting a community. अरे TRP के लिए कितना हिंदू मुसलमान करोगे यार? सबका पेट चलना है. मार दोगे क्या मुसलमानों को? अगर तबलीगी जमात, if they wanted to do a bio-jihad, why would they call their own people to die? Why would they go anywhere else? You want to target one community? अरे भगवान का डर करो, अल्लाह का डर करो और बंद करो ये टीआरपी का तमाशा. बहुत हो गया. मोदी जी कहते हैं you don't speak of the 6 lakh immigrant workers.
सुधांशु त्रिवेदी, अगर 1500 लोग, 4,500 में से 1500 लोग इन्फेक्टेड हो जमात की वजह से, तो ये क्या हम जो कर रहे हैं वो टीआरपी का खेल कर रहे हैं? कोरोना वायरस में टीआरपी का खेल हो रहा है ये?
नाविका जी, मैं जवाब देता हूं. अभी मैं बता रहा था कि दुनिया में कोई उदाहरण है.
आपको अब समय मिला था, अब आप थोड़ी देर आराम करिए और सुनने का भी धीरज रखिए. सुनने का धीरज रखिए. सुधांशु त्रिवेदी जी, I will lower MC Abbas's fader.
मिस्टर अब्बास और सुमन सिंह रमन दोनों की बात कर. अरे दुनिया में कई उदाहरण है कि वीडियो अवेलेबल हो कि बस अल्लाह पे यकीन रखो, डॉक्टर पे यकीन मत रखो. उदाहरण है कई दुनिया में. और अल्लाह पे यकीन रखने वालों का, अब्बास साहब आप करें अल्लाह का खौफ करो. अरे अल्लाह का जो आली मुकाम है काबा, वहां पे तो सब बंद. और ये मुल्ला अल्लाह से बड़े हो गए जो तबलीगी जमात पे हजारों को लेके बैठ गए. एंड आई वांट एन आंसर फ्रॉम यू. तबलीगी जमात रिप्रेजेंट मुस्लिम? अरे भाई बगल में हजरत निजामुद्दीन की दरगाह है, वो तबलीगी जमात नहीं है. बरेलवी तबलीगी जमात नहीं है. देवबंदी तबलीगी जमात नहीं है. अहले हदीस तबलीगी जमात नहीं है. शिया तबलीगी जमात नहीं है. तबलीगी जमात को मुसलमानों से कौन कनेक्ट कर रहा है? आप, हम नहीं कर रहे हैं। जवाब दीजिए आप मुझे। और इस ढंग के जो क्वेश्चंस किए गए कि अल्लाह तुम्हारी रक्षा करेगा, क्या हुआ जयपुर में 39 पीपल फ्रॉम द वन लोकेलिटी केम आउट, जहां डॉक्टर्स को उन्होंने ये कह के भगा दिया था कि हमारा कोरोना कुछ नहीं करेगा, अल्लाह हमारे साथ है। जवाब दीजिए। अल्लाह का सबसे आली मुकाम काबा, उससे बड़ा तुम्हारा मुल्ला,
परिंदे का नाम।
जवाब दीजिए मुझे।
आग बुझाने लाओ।
And how you can say one sect, one institution represent the entire community?
आग लगा रही है।
इसका मतलब आप पूरी तरीके से हिकारत कर रहे हैं देवबंदियों की, बरेलवियों की, अहले हदीस की, शियाओं की।
क्यों भटका रहे हो मीडिया को? मीडिया को मत भटकाओ। मोदी जी को बोलो संयम में।
अरे भैया, मीडिया नहीं तो मुसलमानों को मत भटकाओ।
बात करते हैं
जैसे आपने सीए में भटकाया था, आज उनकी जान जहन्नम में पड़ी हुई है और तुम उनको भटका के राजनीति कर रहे हो। अरे भैया, खुदा का खौफ करो। आपने 39 लोगों को वहां पे फंसा दिया जयपुर में, 1,500 लोग निकल गए और कितने हजार उसके चक्कर में आ गए। खुदा के नाम पे आपने उन लोगों के साथ जो किया है उसका तो जवाब आपको हशर के दिन देना पड़ेगा।
और ये नहीं
और यहाँ बैठ के भाषण दे रहे हैं।
सुधांशु,
Smita Prakash, I want to ask you, when somebody like MC Abbas says कि सरकार मीडिया को भटका रही है, you know, when media exposes 1,500 cases out of 4,500 cases due to Jamaat, is it linked to a religion? Anand Ranganathan asked a very pertinent question. Remaining 3,000, how many are Hindus, Muslims, or Buddhists, or Parsis? No answers from them. The same people who are the torch bearers of liberalism, free speech, and constitutional rights in this country today are questioning the media for exposing the biggest factor in the spread of the coronavirus in the last 6 days.
Yeah, it's Navika, just like I find it shocking that one has heard about whitewashing, painting of history, contemporary history, but this is as and way things are going on. Do you put aside statistics? Do you color statistics like the way that these people have done on your show today? It's amazing. Forget about criticizing the media. Now even an IAS officer has come under the scanner that he said Muslims. He did not. He gave you absolute statistics. And you don't want to believe in it as a man of science, as a man of journalism. You don't want to believe the truth which is happening. Where has the media done this? The media just said Tablighis. And what? You're trying to defend a section of the media is also trying to defend these charming Tablighis, calling them, real, actually very poor people. They didn't mean any harm. Now the fact is that these charming, peace-loving Tablighis, they have resulted in the largest cluster in India. They have resulted in the largest cluster in Pakistan of COVID, largest cluster of in 2/3 of Malaysia, and where these are people who have. One second, can I just complete what I'm saying? These are supposed to be the poorer cousins of the Deobandis, but the fact is that the Tablighis have their links.
MC Abbas, calm down. MC Abbas, this is not a stage for your hate rant, MC Abbas. Allow the media to speak. The media cannot be throttled whenever you feel like it.
Ma'am, the volume is in your hands. The fader is in your hands, not mine.
No, he just decides that he is going to scream and yell at the media, and he calls himself a bachelor's in journalism and a master in media studies. But he doesn't want to listen.
Absolutely. And let me ask Atikur Rahman, if Tabligh is different from the other Muslims, then why are the other Muslims coming out and defending the Tabligh? I want to ask you, has anybody said that these Tablighis are Muslims and therefore they are spreading coronavirus? The media has not said that. The media has only said that the Tabligh congregation has led to a multiplication in cases. Tell me if I'm wrong, if statistics are wrong, and the question Smita Prakash raises. You're targeting an official of the government for saying so many cases related to Tabligh have shown up, which is statistics, which are facts. Are you saying you're allergic to facts?
Never. Navika ji, you have to understand this. We are fighting a dual battle, you see. The moderate and the Muslims, the liberal Muslims have always condemned such acts of bigotry on the part of even the Jamaat and all the Muslim sects who are, called clergy of the of a different this thing. So at the one hand, we always fight with them so that they speak reason.
So are you condemning the Tabligh? Are you condemning the Tabligh tonight? Are you condemning the Tabligh tonight?
100%, Navika ji, 100%. Not only tonight.
All right. Then I want Ilyas Sharafuddin on the screen right now, and Atikur Rahman. Will you tell Mr. Ilyas Sharafuddin, who calls himself an Islamic scholar, will you tell him he's wrong when he targets the media and abuses the media in his rant only because the media is exposing facts? Why don't you condemn him? Use the same language against him that he's used against us.
Ilyas bhai, our wrong has been committed. Ilyas bhai, two wrongs does not make one right. A wrong has been committed by the Jamaat, and we have to accept that they have committed a blunder. Now, there is nothing wrong, in admitting that we are in the present day circumstances fighting a global war which will finish off everything.
Ilyas Sharafuddin, here goes. We prove the point. We are not condemning Muslims. Today, I salute Atikur Rahman for calling a spade a spade. Ilyas Sharafuddin, it is you now who owe an apology to the media. Apologize to the media for the filthy language that you've used against them. Ilyas Sharafuddin, apologize. You've been called out by a Muslim, and that Muslim is a nationalistic, patriotic Muslim today. Atikur Rahman has differentiated between a Muslim and a Tabligh who spreads the virus by committing a crime.
Ilyas bhai, our battles are greater today. The greater battle have to be fought with and have to be won. And we cannot win this COVID-19 battle unless and until we finish off our personal feuds. The government needs the support of all the community. We need to show that we are supporting the government in this fight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the Newshour, we have proved to you that there is no Islamophobia in reporting the violations of the Tabligh Jamaat, of reporting that Maulana Saad, who is actually the chief of the Jamaat, still absconding from the authorities, not giving him up, did not follow the advice of other Muslims who were well-wishers of the community as well as of the country. But there is a section that will continue to target the messenger. Today, ladies and gentlemen, the media should be apologized to by those who follow the hard line and target anyone who represents the facts. This is not about Islam. This is not about Muslims. This is about those who are not cooperating with the lockdown, who are not following the law of the land, and who are spreading the virus, which is taking lives of common citizens of India, whichever community they belong to. They could be Hindus, they could be Muslims, they could be Christians, they could be Buddhists or Parsis. So ladies and gentlemen, on the Newshour and on Times Now, we stand to expose facts where the facts lie. And that's all we have to say on this. People like Ilyas Sharafuddin should be condemned from every community for spewing the hate that they do. Thank you very much to my panelists for joining me on debate number 1. Moving